I want to cover a little tip that's going to help you double your sales this month on Facebook Marketplace, okay? Now, there's many different ways to approach this, but essentially all you're doing is edit, relisting old listings that were proven to sell, right? If you've been selling for, a few months now, if you're new, then obviously this potentially won't apply to you, but keep it in mind for future months, obviously if you want to use it. If you've been selling for a couple months now, you'll have had plenty of past sellers, and you'll happen to notice that once you have a good listing, it tends to keep selling, right? But then as that listing kind of gets a little bit saturated, or as that listing potentially has other competition, or as that listing obviously moves forward and you can't renew it anymore, or whatever the case is, it stops selling and you stop noticing sales from that specific listing, right? And so what you can do is you can go back and edit, relist those old listings, and here's 2 simple ways on how you can find them, okay? So obviously on the computer, you can go to your Facebook Marketplace listings, you can scroll, your Facebook Marketplace orders, not your Facebook Marketplace listings. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, or as far down as you possibly can. If you have a lot of orders, then you really won't get to the bottom because it'll start to lag out eventually once you start scrolling through thousands of orders. But go as low as you possibly can. Click on a bunch of listings that you happen to see that you haven't really gotten sales in a long time, and then simply edit something on the listing, right? I've talked about this in the previous videos. You can edit the title, you can move a picture around, although depending on your Facebook Marketplace specifically, you may or may not be able to move pictures around. I know some people can still edit pictures, other people are unable to edit pictures once they make a sale, so it's going to depend on your marketplace specifically. Facebook's all over the place with certain features like that. Regardless, edit something, edit the description, space it out, delete something in the description, change the price even, offer free shipping, change whatever. You don't have to do all of these, just do one of them, okay? And what that's basically gonna do is it's gonna simulate a new listing, it's gonna simulate the fact that you've updated and edited that listing, and it will put it back into the Facebook Marketplace ecosystem as a newer listing, and it will bring new eyes to your listing, okay? And you can notice that this is actually the case because if you do this a couple times, you'll get little notifications up in the right where you get your notifications, and a few of them will be obviously that's where you get your new orders, that's where you get comments on your listing, whatever it is. And you'll notice that every once in a while it'll be since updating, you have had 3 new clicks or X amount of views on this listing. So clearly Facebook's tracking that. Clearly they're re-ranking it if they're even updating you and giving you that information, okay? So that's one way. Edit through orders, past listings that stopped selling but were selling well in the past, because chances are if they were selling well in the past but then they died off or fell off and you re-edit a couple of those, 1 or 2 of them will pick back up again, okay? And I've seen this countless times. It works like a charm, right? The next easiest way is obviously if you have a bunch of orders and you can't scroll all the way to the bottom, is depending on the site that you're actually selling from, or not selling from, excuse me. This is Facebook Marketplace where you're selling from. Depending on the site where you're actually doing orders from, or sites, right? That could be Amazon for a lot of you. That could be eBay. That could be Walmart. That could be Home Depot. That could be any number of other obscure suppliers. But one thing that you can do is you can go back to those websites where you order from, look into your orders, scroll all the way down to your past orders, all the way back in the beginning, and be and you'll notice oh, that's right, that was selling. I completely forgot about that listing. Then either on mobile or on your desktop, you can search for that listing, figure out where you actually listed that from, and edit it and update it that way, okay? So those are 2 really, really easy ways to find old bestsellers that kind of fell off, because if you edit and you relist them and you do this, not just with 1 or 2 and assume that it's gonna work, but if you do this with 10 or 50 of them, and you don't have to do this a lot, but make it a thing that you do every single day. Update a few listings, it will bring you more sales, and I guarantee you, maybe it doesn't double your sales, maybe it does, maybe it triples it, right? But it will bring you more sales, and it takes exponentially less work than continuously listing all the time, right? If you've got past listings that are proven, that were selling but fell off, do this, it will pay off.